Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So over the weekend, Netflix released their movie K-Pop Demon Hunters in theaters, which was pretty unprecedented. I'm pretty sure this is the first time this has happened, but they had a special sing-along screening at almost 2,000 theaters, and it ended up dominating the box office, even though it was only in theaters for just a weekend, which is pretty crazy. So here's an article from NBC talking about what happened. K-Pop Demon Hunters gives Netflix its first box office win. Following a dominating few weeks as one of the most popular releases ever, Netflix put the film into 1,750 theaters for sing-along screenings on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, this was definitely unprecedented, but pretty cool. So it's no secret that theaters have been struggling ever since the pandemic, and I think that stuff like this might be a way to mitigate that, where basically a lot of people don't really see a point in going to theaters anymore since movies will pretty quickly be on streaming within like a few months at least. So a lot of people are just going to wait for it to come out on streaming so they can watch it from the comfort of their own home. And a lot of the most successful movies have been basically events, like the Minecraft movie, for example, which basically became a meme. So having events like sing-alongs or having these, really successful movies that were on streaming and now people get to experience them in a new way at theaters is very interesting and might lead to a new way to experience movies. I think that this is definitely something that theaters should take advantage of. But let's get into the article and see what NBC has to say. So it starts with Netflix appears to have its first #1 box office title in the streaming company's 18-year history thanks to the sensation of K-Pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, this is a very popular film. And I think it has something for everyone. Not just in the film itself, but also the music was extremely popular. Basically the entire soundtrack was charting on Spotify, and it stayed at #1 for pretty much since it came out, which was back in June, so that's crazy. But rival studios on Sunday estimated K-Pop Demon Hunters led all films over the weekend with 16 to 18 million in ticket sales. Distribution executives from 3 studios shared their estimates for the Netflix phenomenon on condition of anonymity because the streaming company has a policy of not reporting ticket sales. I do think that Netflix should probably get over that, but that's just my opinion. Following a dominating few weeks as one of the most popular Netflix releases ever, the streamer put the film into 1,750 theaters for sing-along screenings Saturday and Sunday. Studios are able to accurately estimate ticket sales for all releases on Sunday morning, though the uncommon nature of the K-Pop Demon Hunters releases means a wider variance. Some estimates were as high as 20 million. So yeah, completely unprecedented, but definitely huge. It amounted to a victory lap for K-Pop Demon Hunters, arguably the biggest hit of Hollywood's summer, and an ironic success for Netflix, whose emphasis on streaming, not theatrical releases, upended the movie industry. Another sore spot for Hollywood. The film was developed and produced by Sony Pictures, which sold it to Netflix. So they're basically saying that it could have gone to theaters in the first place, but it was instead sold to Netflix. Like Sony Pictures also did Spider-Verse, and those went to theaters. But K-Pop Demon Hunters is definitely a phenomenon because it was popular with basically everyone, not just like K-pop fans or even animation fans. It very clearly resonated with a lot of people all over the world. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, especially the catchy music. But this is also saying that Netflix is the one who benefited from it going to theaters and not Hollywood or Sony. So that's pretty crazy for Hollywood to lose out on that. But I guess it's on them for not recognizing its potential. So let's move on. Not all exhibitors went along. AMC, the largest theater chain in North America, declined to show the movie, but that didn't stop Netflix from claiming the box office title its more traditional competitors typically own. Yeah, AMC really lost out here, and hang on, let me see if I can find it. Apparently AMC has a policy where they don't play movies that are played in the home. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, but I think that they're probably going to reconsider that after this, or at the very least they should reconsider it because it looks like they missed out on a huge opportunity. But let's get back to the original article. David A. Gross, who runs the movie consulting firm Franchise Re, called it a completely unique 2-day musical event. It may turn out to be higher, said Gross. Theater owners are quick on their feet and can add capacity according to demand. The theatrical release, though limited, is out of the ordinary for the streaming giant, which has long stressed a commitment to subscriber releases. The movie debuted on the platform in late June and is currently Netflix's most watched animated original film. So this might lead to a shift in how streaming and theaters coexist coexist with each other. Because the way things were going, I don't think that the theater industry could really hold out for that much longer, in my opinion. But maybe this will change things now. The film centers on Huntrix, a K-pop superstar trio who double as Demon Hunters. The members, Rumi, played by Arden Cho, Mira, played by Mei Hong, and Zoe, played by Ji Young Yu, must protect their fans and face their biggest enemy yet, a rival boy band made up of demons in disguise. Yeah, it's a really fun concept, and I think there's something for everyone, whether they're kids or adults, which is something you want to have with animated films, since parents are going to end up watching these things too, or adult animation fans. And clearly the film resonated with a lot of people. So the article then goes on to talk about the rest of the box office right now. Zach Cregger's horror hit Weapons maintained strength in the box office during its third weekend, bringing in $15.6 million domestically. The buzzy horror movie has proved its staying power, ranking in over $100 million globally since its release. Meanwhile, Disney's Freakier Friday landed behind the horror movie once again, earning $9.2 million in North American theaters. Yeah, they really like to make sequels to movies that are like decades old. I did hear that we're going to get sequels to K-Pop Demon Hunters. I also heard they're going to make a live-action remake, which admittedly I'm not thrilled about, especially given how new K-Pop Demon Hunters is. But I guess that's just the thing to do now, which sucks, but it is what it is. If Hollywood sees a bag to get, they're going to go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if a live-action remake does end up in theaters first. And given the success of Lilo and Stitch, I wouldn't be surprised if that remake does really well too. But moving on. The two films are real bright spots as the box office heads into a rather quiet finish for the summer, said Paul Degarabedian. I really hope I said that right. Senior media analyst for the data firm Comscore. Both films, which premiered simultaneously earlier this month, had a minimum 36% drop from last weekend. So I think that's pretty typical, all things considered. I think we have to look at the currency of the goodwill generated by people having these great summer movie-going experiences. We have to look at that as a more important metric than just the bottom line dollars and cents. I think that's a good point. It then goes on to talk about the MCU. The Fantastic Four: First Steps earned $5.9 million domestically during its fifth weekend. The movie enjoyed a strong $118 million debut, but has experienced a steady decline. Newcomer Honey Don't opened in 1,317 North American theaters with a weekend gross estimate of $3 million. In line with expectations, the movie made it to the top 10 right above Naked Gun. I've never even heard of this movie, Honey Don't, and only $3 million? Yeah, I don't know. The dark comedy stars Margaret Qualley as Honey O'Donoghue, a small-town private investigator who investigates a slew of strange deaths tied to a church in Bakersfield, California. Must be an indie movie or something. So the article finishes off by just giving a rundown of the top 10 movies of this week. And again, K-Pop Demon Hunters is not on here because they aren't giving the official numbers. But I think the main takeaway from all of this is just that this whole thing with K-Pop Demon Hunters seems to be a new way for streaming and theaters to coexist, which I'm not against. And I think it was a lot of fun to be able to experience the movie in theaters and have a sing-along option. But what do you guys think of all of this? Do you think that Netflix made the right call in releasing in theaters? How do you think this will affect movie theaters going forward, or the relationship between how movies are released and premiered in theaters versus on streaming? Because it is pretty crazy to have a movie go from streaming to theaters like this. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Tyrant Carnivore, Shiny Orc Boy, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Equestron, Norman Sweet Cream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Hunter Rose, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Felix Bam, Lucas Geist, J Draws, Meowsers, Sky, Philip, Isaac Martinez, Garcia XV Legend, Tobias Weller, Bandito Bane, Mac B909, Dakari the Professor, Todd McCaffrey, Omni Fair, Cavalcoj, Strider Exile, Phil C, Killer Bomb, Slawa Saporiguez, Entwined Boot 301, Griffin of Might, Frankie Camarillo, Datadyne Executive, Crimson Phantom, Jin the Goblin, Papa Hud 69, The Gengar King, Daunter, G-Rock, and Chaos Jumper. Thank you for the support, and if you want to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support us that way. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and that part's free. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.